I could go for a bit of excitement.
Looks like this is the place. I'll back you up. Hey there, fish. We make it to the spot, and what do you know? There's some kind of cave here, just like the map suggested. By myself? No, I was waiting for you. I wouldn't have even noticed the entrance if I wasn't looking for it. Probably why the Ascendant Order chose it. That's the thing about islands and ships. You can always find the rats. Not alone you won't. For all we know, the whole damned order is meeting inside. With any luck, I'll get a chance to pound the bastards that wrecked the spearhead. Let's go. Knock their heads in. They knew everything. Who we were carrying, where we were going. But how? Let them get behind you!
You know, I like to think I'm agreeable. I don't suppose we have anything to cook.
I recognize that one. He was aboard my ship. These lodestones must be how they targeted us with the storm. Lady Arabelle was right, damn it. We do have a rat in our company. Now I owe her a bottle of Tamika's dark rum. Someone gave our plans to the Ascendant Order, and they somehow used lodestones to track us and target us with that storm. Not a lot. Lady Arabelle, Lord Baccaro, and some of his top aides, the 3 captains, Duchess Alea and a few nobles, and anyone the Alliance leaders shared it with. If there's one thing I learned about royal courts, they leak like a sinking ship. We met briefly early on, then we each sailed different indirect routes to get here. I didn't rendezvous with the other ships until we were almost at the archipelago. Anyway, I guess this shows us how the Ascendant Order rewards its agents. Look around. These traders survived the storm and the shipwrecks and returned here just like they were told to. And what do they get for their trouble? A blade to the heart for each of them. Come on. Let's get out of here and tell Lady Arabelle.
I'm still here. Thanks for asking. Work with me here. Off we go.
Get back here, you stupid thing!
Watch yourself, stranger. There's some errant magic out here. I hope you don't mind me saying so, but you look like someone who's good at cleaning up messes. I've got a big one for you, if you're up for it. I'd pay you for your time, but I need someone quick on their feet. This mess is turning into a crisis. I was experimenting with a spell while my mentor, Magister Iran, was away, but the magic went awry. If it doesn't get dealt with, it's going to spread beyond this area and harm a bunch of innocent people. I can't fix it on my own, so I need help. I need to develop a counterspell, but first their protective wards around the area need to be restored by someone other than myself, so I don't taint the magic. That's where you come in. Like I said, if you help, I can pay. Hold still. You'll need this unless you want to spend the next few hours as a sheep. Not as glamorous as it sounds. And here, take these crystals. You'll need them to restore the wards. The first one is in the meadow just up the hill to the north. Mostly they serve to keep errant magic inside Tordriak's boundaries. You know, the standard 3 points of protection thing. Unfortunately, my spell kicked those wards in the teeth. They're not protecting anything now. The spell I created has my magical mark on it, if that makes sense. There are certain types of magic that can be affected by their creator, intentionally or not. Messing with forces already attuned to you can have unpredictable results. Exactly. Magic is powerful and great and all that, but it can be pretty sensitive. Fussy, Magister Irin likes to say. And since my spell is already wreaking havoc across Tordreak, I'd rather not take any unnecessary risks while fixing it. The name's Ember. Well, technically it's a nickname, but it's all I use. I'm Magister Irin's apprentice. I think he regrets taking me on sometimes, but he's got a big heart. He saw that I had no formal training and told me to come here to learn. This is Tordreak. There's a big wizard's tower, you can't miss it. I've been living there with Magister Irin, plus a few people who keep up the grounds and the tower itself. All of whom have been affected by my spell, I'd guess. All you have to do is place those crystals I gave you on the 3 protective wards. It'll be easy, I promise. Mostly trying to keep anything with ill intent away from you. My errant spell seems to be affecting the creatures around Tordreak in all kinds of ways. Things that were once docile might be a little, grumpy right now.
I hope you're watching.
Here we are. I'm going to cast a little... That's 1 ward restored! Let's go fix the next one. It's in the glade just west of here. I really should have paid more attention to Magister Irin when he was explaining how these protective wards work. I should have paid more attention to him in general, actually. The next one is in the glade. It's just across the way to the west. Unfortunately, no. The wards are just to keep the unstable magic inside the bounds of Tordreak. That way, I can work on a counterspell without worrying about the original spell spreading. Magister Irin made sure I knew what they were and what purpose they served as soon as he took me on as an apprentice. He wanted me to be familiar with as much as Tordreak as possible, or at least the parts that keep it safe. Here we are. I'll make sure nothing gets in our way while you place the warding crystal. Oh, you're a natural. Maybe you should have been Magister Irin's apprentice. The last ward is south of here, inside a cave. This is the last one. Let's get this over with quick. Place the warding crystal. That's all the wards. Let's talk outside. I need to figure out what to do next. Ugh, stupid moats! I know my rogue spell is to blame for most of the weirdness happening around Tordreok, but it almost seems like these damned moats are becoming dangerous. They're doing more than just mischievous magic. Ugh, fish biscuits. I need to figure this out. I'm not sure. The moats aren't new. They're always hanging around Tordreok. I think they're drawn to places like this. But there was nothing in my spell that should have made them act malevolent. And there are a lot more around than usual. Yes, I can make traps to contain them, but I'm still worried about their behavior. While I work on the traps, could you head into the tower and look to Magister Iren's things? He might have a book with more information about the modes. See if you can find anything in the tower about the modes. I'll meet you there and start on the traps.
Would it kill them to run away? Well, no, I guess it wouldn't. Maybe they should try that.
This is ridiculous. I knew Magister Iren should never have taken in a mangy cat like you.
Relax, Mudressa. I'm working on it.
You better work fast, because when Magister Iren... What the... Oh!
All right. That was a little funny. You in here? Did you find anything useful about the moats? I finished the traps. Once we set them up, they should take care of the moats. Then I can sort out the livestock in Huldressa, and at some point create a counterspell to fix everything for good. Did you learn anything useful? Oh, I read that one, with the Wind Sorrow lady, right? Oh, what if my spell disturbed her and that's why the moats are acting up? That's troubling, and also a problem for future Ember. Let's focus on one thing at a time. Or two things, actually. The traps are finished, but the livestock and Huldressa are still a problem. I want to figure out a way to return them all to their natural forms before the illusion does any damage. Could you set the traps while I do that? Here, I'll mark some places to set the traps. They're in a pack by the work tables outside. While you do that, I'll figure out how to fix the livestock and Huldressa. Then I can work on my counterspell. Meet me by the livestock pens when you're done. Good luck setting up the traps. I'll meet you by the livestock pens when you're finished.
really don't like your odds. In a big family, you have to know how to scrap.
All right, let's get you two back to your regular chicken selves. Ha! I knew it would work. Run along, ladies. You're back. The traps worked, didn't they? See? I told you I know what I'm doing. Mostly. Speaking of which, I think I figured out a way to return the livestock to their original forms. I made something. I know it looks like a spoon, but, well, technically it is a spoon, but I enchanted it. And I call it the Spoon of Undo. I just tested it on those chickens. It removes the illusions perfectly. Normally I wouldn't bother, but illusions can be disorienting and cause terrible headaches. I don't want any of the animals suffering while I come up with my counterspell. Oh, and Huldressa. I suppose I don't really want her suffering either. Here, take the Spoon of Undo. If you could run around and fix the livestock and Huldressa, that will give me a chance to finally whip up this counterspell. By the time you're finished, I'm sure I'll have something figured out. Just look around for people making animal noises. I'm sure they won't be hard to find. And tell them I'm sorry when you change them back, would you? As for Huldressa, I'm all in favor of leaving her as a guar. Just kidding. Kind of. It sounds cute when you say it. It's a pretty simple reversing enchantment. It should counteract the magic from the motes and dispel the illusion. Basic stuff, not even I can mess up. Well, they're still animals. They might run around a bit, but I doubt they'll make it too difficult for you. They're not exactly geniuses. Personally, if I was a sheep and got turned into a human, I think I'd go off on an adventure. I wasn't trying to turn animals into people, I swear. I had a theory about animating the inanimate. One of Magister Irin's texts gave me the idea. That's probably why he locks so many of his books away, now that I think about it. Well, I'm hoping to avoid that scenario. But if it does happen, I'm not sure. He's an odd one. I'm too old for him to punish, and he's not really the type to dole out discipline anyway. I think he'd be disappointed, which is so much worse. I'll be in the tower working on the counterspell. Come find me when you're done.
Maybe I should have joined the buoyant armigers.
Was I just a guar? This is all Emma's fault. Oh, I feel strange. It was quite unpleasant. Thank you for saving me. I know I'm nothing to gawk at, but I prefer to look like this instead of a guar. All right. She made me look like a guar. What do you think? I told Magister Aaron that Emma was trouble the moment she showed up. Trouble, I said. But did he listen? There wouldn't be anything to work out if that careless Khajiit would listen more and mind her elders. She's brash and often quite rude. Why am I standing here talking to you? I'm going back to my kitchen, and I may just have a glass of brandy.
Fish biscuits. That wasn't right.
I assume Huldressa is back to her charming self? I've run into a problem. I have good news and bad news. The good news is that I've nearly finished my counterspell, but I need to find a tome called The Mirrored Way to complete it. I know Magister Aaron has it, but it's not with the rest of his books. That's the bad news. Because if the Mirrored Way isn't with the rest of his things, it's probably locked away in his arcane library. The library he specifically forbids me from entering. The tome I need has to be in there. Without it, I can't make the counterspell. Magister Aaron has warned me not to enter his library 1,000 times. But these are special circumstances. There will probably be some magical traps inside meant to keep me out. So I'll need your help getting the book while I deal with them. Once we find the Mirrored Way in Magister Aaron's library, I can finish my counterspell. I just hope the old man wasn't serious about putting something dangerous inside to keep me out. He was definitely kidding. Had to be. Come on, let's go. Not sure. I picked the lock on the place as soon as I figured out he didn't want me getting in there. He's since put up protections and told me to stay out unless I have his permission. I'm sure he's got some kind of ward or barrier set up. It wasn't hard. Mages like Magister Irin tend to think in very magical ways. They'll put magic reinforcements over every inch of a place, but forget a few pins and a good ear can foil them. And to be fair to him, I'm a very good lockpick. Necessity. I wasn't exactly raised in the lap of luxury, not even in the lap of genteel poverty for that matter. You get good at things like that if you don't want to be hungry, or caught by guards or angry merchants. Follow me. The library's downstairs. Give me just a moment to pick the lock. All right, let's get in and out as quick as we can. I don't sense anything. Maybe the old man was bluffing. Fish biscuits! This spell is specifically targeting me. I'll figure out a way down. You just focus on getting the book. That's it! You got it! Now, let's get out of here before I set off something else. Magister Irin really didn't want me getting in there, huh? I have to admire the dedication. I didn't know the old man had it in him. He had something to target me specifically. What a sneaky old goat. Good thing I had you with me. You managed to get the book, right? Let me see it. Let me take a look. No, not that. That would be bad. What about this? Oh, here it is. It's Amahan ist Exis, not Gahan Amexis is. Good thing I checked. See? That's personal growth right there. 2 different arcane glyphs. They do entirely different things when written and pronounced aloud. The second one is what I need for my counterspell. Now, all that's left is to get to the old ritual circle and cast this. I'll need your help again. The counterspell should set everything right in Tordrayak. Things will be just as Magister Irin left them, and I won't have to face his furrowed brow. I'll need your help at the ritual site. Casting a spell this big is a 2-person job. The old ritual circle is a place of power, and I'm going to need all the help I can get. I plan to draw on the magic there to help strengthen my counterspell. Magister Irin told me about it. This probably isn't how he wanted to implement the lesson. Maybe? Old tales and myths always start from some truth at some point in time. The moats around here seem to be affected by more than my spell, is all I'm saying. I always expect the worst. I find it helpful. If luck is with us, maybe just some irritated wildlife we can deal with as we've done before. Or some of the bolder moats. But if there is some truth to the ancient tales, then maybe we find some sort of really cranky wind spirit. The ritual circle is just up the hill to the north. I'll meet you there. I'm here. First, we need to set the ritual flames. There's 3 around the site. Light the 3 ritual flames here. I'll get the ones on the altar. Here we go.
Disturb not my rest, foul creature.
Almost there. It's done! The spell is set. Follow me. We should be able to see it materialize. Any second now. It worked! We did it! Come on, let's get back to the tower.
Refused to work under these conditions. I was turned into a guar. A guar!
Of course, Huldressa. I promise to address the situation.
See that you do.
Huldressa sold me out, didn't she?
Let me speak to your associate first, Ember. So, you were witness to the events here, and as I understand it, you had a hand in bringing them to an end. For that, I thank you. And if you'll indulge me, I do have a few lingering questions. What in the world happened? I don't know what I expected, leaving her to her own devices here, even temporarily. Ember and Trouble are old friends. I can still feel the repercussions of this spell gone awry, as you say. Do I have you to thank for rectifying it? I see. As trying as she can be, she truly is a talented mage. She can be impatient, but given her natural inclination to magic, it's understandable. I always knew I was perhaps not the best teacher for her. I took her in because I knew I couldn't leave someone as skilled and impulsive as her to her own devices. But I have neither the time nor aptitude to teach her properly. It's my own failing. Speak to her, would you? I must collect my thoughts. Don't worry. Ember isn't in any trouble. While I am not pleased about my traumatized cook, I must concede that everything is back in order and the consequences of Ember's magic weren't dire. Still, I must consider what to do now. I don't mean to give the impression that Ember is incapable of learning. That's not the case. She's a bright mage, one of the brightest I've ever seen. Everything I've taught her she's taken to like flame to parchment. But therein lies the problem. Well, just like a flame, Ember wants to devour everything around her. Her appetite for knowledge is ceaseless. That's good quality in a mage, but not necessarily one I'm equipped to deal with. By my own admission, I'm methodical, cautious, by the books. Exactly right. Ember needs someone who can keep up with her. Someone who thrusts themselves headlong into adventure so that she may temper herself and her magic beside them. Perhaps when I was younger, I could have been that for her, but not now.
Hey, you! Let's talk while Magister Irin collects his thoughts. I thought Magister Irin would be as mad as a wet dragon, but he looks amused. It's probably because he's wanted to turn Huldressa into a guar at some point. He just won't admit it. And the fact that we fixed it all before he got here helped. Well, I've been thinking. I'm grateful to Magister Irin, but sitting and reading about magic has little appeal to me. This whole thing just proved to me that I'm too restless here. I want to do magic, not just study it. Go on adventures, see things. I think it's time. I've been given good training here, but I still have a lot to learn. For me, the best teachers are curiosity and experience. I learn best by doing, so I need to get out in the world and continue my training. Ember the Sorcerer. I like the sound of that, but that can come later. First, take this. It's not much, but you deserve it. I think we made a good team today. If you ever need a sorcerer who has your back, let me know. We'd have some fun. Magister Irin, I'm grateful for your teachings and your patience, but I think it's time for me to move on.
The world is an excellent teacher for one of your talents, Ember. Do write me occasionally.
I should go pack my things. And say goodbye to Holdressa. Not a chance. I knew you missed me. Am I in trouble? Sorry, I just always assume. All right, but can we do it fast? I'm learning a lot by being around you. I think Magister Irin would be proud. Hey you, everything all right?
Fortune favor you, my friend. Choose a reward. Do not be sad, my friend. There are always additional crates available for purchase. Most crates contain 4 rewards, but sometimes you will get a special 5th reward. This one recommends that you purchase a crate. Until next time.
What's going on?
You want to talk about something?
Hey, so I did some skulking around while I was waiting for you. Remember Dockmaster Arnauld, the slimy skeever who sold out our ships to the Ascendant Order? Word on the docks is he's here. Sounds like his bosses aren't happy with him either. The Far Dock. It's not a House du Fort ship out there. Assuming Arnauld's a prisoner, that's where I'd stash him. If we want to talk to him, we better act now. I don't think the good Dockmaster's long for this world. Normally, House du Fort Knights would be all over the place, but I haven't seen a one. Ascendant Order, though. That's a different story. They're guarding the docks between us and that ship. Whoever they paid to get rid of the Knights hit the jackpot. Let's just make our way to that ship and see if the Dockmaster is aboard.
Spare a coin or two, friend?
I'll watch your back. Go get him!
This sorcerer is sorcering better than ever before. Sorcering, that's a word, right? Need something?
You can handle this, right? Got this, but I'm here if you need me. I'll watch your back. Go get him. You can handle this, right?
No more, please!
I'll watch the door.
You were at the docks with Lady Arabelle. I thought the Ascended Magus had returned. He didn't need tools to torture me, not with his magic. The pain, the fire, it was inside my skin. Get me out of here, please! You're right. I let the gold blind me. But look, I knew nothing about special cargo, or important passengers, or Amanos, or any of it. Even Lady Arabelle said the ships were just carrying supplies vital for Lord Baccaro's conference. I gave the Ascended Magus a list of names. Folks he could trust to keep quiet. Muscle to collect the goods when the ships ran aground. But it was all a sham. They captured the captains, then gave orders to kill anyone else who washed ashore. Are you serious? He didn't trust me. I never got a real name or saw his face. But he's rich, I can tell you that much. Like nobility rich. Royal rich. You can smell it on them, you know? All the perfumes and soaps and fancy clothes. It's an island to the north. A jungle rock where they send prisoners to disappear. The Magus gave orders to look for someone on Amanos. Whoever he's searching for, he moved his knights from the shallows to there. That's all I know. Cut me free! Oh, thank you. I'll find a way to make up for this. I swear it.
Nice work. I wouldn't have been so merciful, but at least we know more than we did. I'll see you back at the manor. You heard that King Lelorian has returned? He's going to lead the Fighters Guild now.
There you are, my dear. I was beginning to worry. Tell me everything. What did you find at the sites marked on Alea's map? Traitors? This confirms our suspicions. But lodestones are powerful arcane focuses. What else did you discover, dear? Lodestones on the ships and at the ritual site? That must be how the Ascendant Magus targeted the ships with his storm. Remarkable. But was the storm meant to delay the ships, or give the Order the opportunity to capture the Alliance leaders? So the Ascendant Magus isn't infallible. That's good to know. And the evidence we've uncovered up to this point tells us the Order believes the Alliance leaders are still alive. They're actively hunting for them. We must find them first. Amanos. I suppose it's possible the leaders washed onto that God's-forsaken island. Well, I determine our best approach to that place. I need you to go to Shipwreck Shoals and aid Captain Suzo. I received an urgent message right before you arrived. The shoals are a graveyard, the final rest for vessels that met an unfortunate end in the straits between High Isle and Amanos. Go and help Captain Suzo, dear. He made it sound quite urgent. I sent Suzo and Zaji to search along the northern shores for signs of their wrecked ships or the Alliance leaders. Suzo's message was short but direct. He found something and needed help. You're the first to return, so you get the job. You'll need to take a small boat from the north shore of the island. There's usually one on the beach west of the default shipyards. Shipwreck Shoals is on the northern coast, just west of the default shipyards.
There's a lot to do.
Yeah.
Did Lady Arabelle send you? Look, I think I found her. When I got to the shoals and saw all those sea elf pirates and hadalids, I quickly sent a message to Lady Arabelle requesting assistance. But I was able to sneak over here, and that is when I spotted her. The sea has returned her back to me. My ship, the Kamal's Bane. Oh, I thought I lost her forever. She washed ashore on the shoals, thank the Hist. It took me some time to reach this spot without being detected, but now that you're here, we can see what remains of my vessel. She will never sail again, but at least it will be good to see her one last time. And perhaps we can find some indication of what happened to my passenger, Prince Ernskar of Windhelm. You check the hull, and I will search among the wreckage. Be careful.
Stay back. I can still fight.
Isleen! Friend, this is my bosun. There is none finer.
Captain! Sankain, it's you. I didn't think anyone would come for me. But if you're with the captain, please. It's Prince Ernskar. We have to help him. I'd be dead if it wasn't for the prince. Not exactly. After that strange storm swept in and the ship hit the rocks, we were struggling to get to the small boats. A wave hit me and I thought that was the end. But Prince Ernskar lifted me up, tossed me in the boat and shoved it away. The Kamal's Bane started to break apart. The storm pushed us into the straits and the current was dragging most of the ship toward Amanos. I stayed in the small boat as long as I could. Then I leaped into this piece of the wreckage and landed here. The last I saw, he was alive and clinging to the part of the ship floating toward Amanos. Even through the storm, I could hear others in the water, but the winds were sending the wreckage in all directions. You need to go find Prince Ernskar.
Return to the manor. Lady Arabelle must know of this. I'll return as soon as Isleen can travel.
Friend, Lady Arabelle is waiting for you upstairs.
Another one of my favorite associates, back safe and sound. And were you successful? Did Captain Suzo find anything important at the shoals? Well, that corroborates what the Dockmaster told you. If Prince Ernskar is still alive and made it to Amanos, perhaps the other Alliance leaders did as well. Of course, that doesn't mean they're safe. Only a small part of the island is hospitable, and Amanos Station is barely that. The rest of the island is an untamed jungle full of deadly plants, wild creatures, and gangs of prisoners. Not exactly a stroll in the park. House Menard controls Amanos, but they restrict their oversight to Amanos Station and the prison stockade. They leave the jungle to the prisoners. Either the royals washed ashore in the jungle, or the Menards are keeping their arrival secret. Soon, my dear. First, prepare yourself while I finish making the needed arrangements. We'll head to Amanos in due time. For now, remember all we have learned thanks to your efforts. Take this as payment. You more than earned every gold piece. I hoped that by investigating the Ascendant Order, we'd uncover a clue as to how to find the missing Alliance leaders. Now we have it on good authority that they may be on Amanos. From the cookpot to the campfire, as my great-aunt Ailes used to say. It's just a saying, dear. As you're still on retainer, I'd like you to spearhead our rescue efforts. Jakan will go with you to the island, then you'll split up to search for the royals. It's risky, but there's a lot of ground to cover. Aboard a prison ship. They sail for Amanos regularly from the Dufort docks. We'll be contracting the services of a Captain Basrush. She's a dear friend. Jakan and I will meet you there after I finish briefing Captain Colleen and the others. While you head to the Dufort docks, I'll discuss our plan with the Alliance captains. We'll need them for this to succeed. Captain Basrush will get you to the island safely. I know for a fact she can't refuse a purse full of gold. Captains Colleen, Suzo, and Zaji have been procuring ships just for that purpose. The waters around Amanos are treacherous, but I have faith in their skills. I wish I could send more agents to help you, but I prefer to keep a low profile. For the same reason you're traveling by prison ship, so as not to alarm House Menard. We still don't know the extent of their involvement, or if they're making their own play against Emmerich and the others. Anything else, dear, or can we get moving? Oh, Basrush is delightful. You'll get along with her smashingly. We met when she was a smuggler operating along the Sentinel coast. Now she runs under a charter from House Menard, ferrying prisoners and supplies to Amanos Station. Goodness, no. It served as a haven for pirates and smugglers once, before the Empire decided it was a perfect place to dump its undesirables. Political prisoners, prisoners of war, rival nobles. Emmerich continues the practice to the current day. The entire archipelago sits atop the bones of an ancient volcano. Sheer cliffs, jagged reefs, and dangerous currents make Amanos a perfect site for a prison. The only safe landing on the isle is the dock at Amanos Station. I suppose you can call it that. It serves the nearby prison stockade, though the worst offenders are banished to the jungle. The Empire used to send prisoners to Amanos, and it still is a dumping ground for people the authorities want to disappear. They do something to the prisoners. They call it processing. Once that occurs, they can only survive in the Amanos jungle. They go anywhere else, they die. At least that's what they tell them. So yes, the jungle belongs to the prison gangs. It's a closely guarded secret, I'm afraid. When prisoners are selected for banishment, they undergo some sort of magical or alchemical treatment. After that, they can only survive in the jungle. Is it true? Does it matter? The prisoners believe it. House Menard runs the prison stockade for the Daggerfall Crown. They profit off the prisoner exchanges, the mines in the jungle, other prisoner labor. And they maintain Amanos Station, the only true civilization on the entire island. Sometimes I lose track of days myself, dear. Lord Bacaro hired me to provide security for the upcoming peace talks. I oversaw the arrangements to get the Alliance leaders to High Isle safely. Unfortunately, the Ascendant Order uncovered those plans. Precisely. These bandit knights tried to kill High King Emmerich, Queen Irene, and Prince Ernskar, but the Magus lost control of his spell. Thanks to you, we now believe the leaders are on the island of Amanos. We're going to rescue them, my dear.
Wait, what? The prison island? Shouldn't I get a say in this?
Oh, I know you can't stand to be left out of the action. Think of the stories you can tell of your daring escape.
Well, that's true. I guess I'm easy to read.
Like a book, dear.
Let's go fast.
Sorry, Lady Arabelle, I couldn't find any of the volumes on your list at my last port.
No time for books today, my darling. My friend has a favor to ask, so play nicely.
Good health to you, Wayfarer. I'm the captain of the Shackled Guar. Now tell me, what grand adventure has Lady Arabelle drafted you into, and what does it have to do with me? Talk fast, Mainlander. I sail for Amanos on the tide. Oh? And I suppose she's offering her usual pouch of gold and the promise of an evening's company at her manor? Ha! She does know the way to this sailor's heart. If that's your port of call, who am I to argue? Just know the dangers before you step aboard my ship. If they process you in the stockade, you'll never leave Amanos alive. If you head into the jungle, beware the beasts and the gangs of banished. The gangs of prisoners who band together to survive in the jungle. They're all bad, but the green serpents are the worst. Here, for you and the pretty boy. Disguises. Put them on and try to look appropriately forlorn as you go aboard my ship. You need disguises because you want to travel aboard a prison ship. And because you want to avoid notice when we reach Amanos. So, disguises. You'll look like just two more poor bastards bound for the prison island, guaranteed. You know the lady. She picks up strays wherever she goes. Helps with her work, and she enjoys the company. The first time we met, she was supposed to arrest me for smuggling. Instead, she turned me into an operative, and we broke a much larger ring. Oh, the lady has her ways. And I could never say no to a pouch full of gold and a pretty face. Say, your face is pretty. Maybe if you survive and make it off Amanos, you can call on me. Just ask around the docks. Everyone knows Old Bass Rush. The Shackled Guar is just down the pier. Move, you dirty prisoners!
You get them there, you old sea dog, and I'll get them out.
I'll do my job, Arabelle. And remember, I like pomegranate wine with my salted mutton.
All the prisoners are aboard, Captain.
2 more latecomers, Juris.
These prisoners aren't on my list.
Then add them. I'll tell you about it later.
As you say, Captain. Get aboard, you scum!
Inside, prisoner. Move!
I tried to read that book. The covers are too far apart.
Over here. Like my new outfit? What better way to search Amano Station than disguised as a jailer, huh? I'll see what I can learn about our missing royals here in the stockade and around town. You head to the jungle. From what I already heard, you need to hurry. Before I engaged in 2 of my 3 favorite activities, eavesdropping and thievery, I heard the jailers talking about a bounty placed by the Green Serpent's prison gang. They're offering a reward for 3 nobles that washed ashore in the jungle. What else could it be? Do you know of any other noble-born people who were lost at sea in the area? So head north and go through the big gate. That's your way into the jungle. Meanwhile, I'll see whether or not House Mornard is involved in all this. First, find the leaders. If you can't do that, find the serpents. One of them is bound to know something. I hear they have a camp northeast of the jungle gate. And take this flare. The 3 captains are circling the island waiting for your signal. Try not to let anything in the scary jungle kill you. Just head north, go through the gate, and head north some more. I hear there's a Green Serpent camp out that way. Hey, you got this! I mean, you probably got this. If anyone's got this, it's you. After you secure the... Try not to let it... Ooh, that's hurtful. And here I thought we were friends. But let me think. Oh, there's a coin fort on the far side of the island. Steer clear of that unless you run out of other options. It's controlled by the serpents, and they're stone-cold killers. I haven't seen any signs of the Order here on Amanos. Yet. But there must be a connection, right? How else would the serpents know about the Alliance leaders if the Ascendant Order didn't tip them off? And I'll start digging around out here. Oh, and if you were wondering, I'll hop a ship back to High Isle when I'm finished. Easy enough out here in Amano Station, as long as you don't look like one of the prisoners.
You think the serpents were telling the truth? Freedom, if we find the lost nobles?
You know the Kaishiti's saying. If it sounds too good, it probably is.
I don't care what you say. I'm heading into the jungle.
Don't be stupid, Rasa. You're safer here in the stockade.
I am a good hunter. Freedom or death?
Look at here. New meat. You've got big ears, new meat. But if you must know, word around this stockade is that the Green Serpents are offering a way off this rock. Something about friends in high places. You just need to find a trio of nobles supposedly wandering the jungle. What gave it away? The fact that no one gets off this rock? Or that the serpents have friends in high places? Or maybe how ridiculous it is to imagine nobles lost in the jungle. I'll tell you what I told Rasa. Going into the jungle is crazy.
I hear you resolved the standoff at Alcaire Castle. I am glad no blood was shed.
You're not supposed to be on this side of the stockade fence, prisoner. Get back inside or there'll be consequences.
Follow the rules, and you won't lose your status as a trustee.
Rules? Following the rules got me tossed in the stockade in the first place. But I hear you.
Through this gate lies the jungle of Amanos. Your home for the rest of your miserable lives.
Please! I'm innocent, I tell you! Don't send me into the jungle!
Too late for that. You've all been processed. If we don't banish you into the jungle, you'll die.
Right. Certain death out here. At least a slight chance to survive in the jungle. That's the fate of the banished.
I'm gonna survive out in that jungle, just to spite them all. Wait and see if I don't. Wait and see.
I'll find a way to make them all pay. Everyone responsible for sending me to this damn dung heap. They'll rue the day. Rue, I say!
Banished to the jungle doesn't sound too terrible, does it? How bad could it be beyond those gates? Probably just a lot of talk to frighten us. Yes, that's it. Just a lot of talk. An innocent orc banished to the wilds of Amanos. What's fair about that? I hear there are gangs roaming the jungle. Maybe I can join one. Safety in numbers, right?
Back to the stockade, prisoner. It will be your turn for processing and banishment soon enough.
You failed again, Lasham.
It's not my fault! They're dangerous, powerful!
I'm dangerous too, wretch. Mosi, hush! Kill!
No! 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 Not the cat! Ah!
Triple the guard on the captured royal, and find the others. I promised all three to the Ascendant Magus, and I won't crap about now.
Once we get paid, I'll finally have enough to buy that armor I've been wanting.
Bet they weren't expecting that.
Another fight? Well, if you... Oh. Careful, Walker. All that swimming and fighting has made me hungry, and you look pretty tasty, I must say. You know Zaji, and he's alive? That's good to hear. Now I can kill him for getting us wrecked as soon as I see him. When the storm hit, it was all I could do to hang on to some wreckage and make it to this beach. We're on Amnos, right? The Alliance leaders, right. I keep meaning to try to find Queen Irene, but every time I get started, more of those prison mongrels rush out of the jungle and attack me. I love a good fight as much as the next sailor, but I'm exhausted. Sure, 2 noses are better than 1. If we can pick up Queen Irene's scent, I can track her. That's sort of my specialty. The nose knows, as the kittens say. Stay close and follow me. Let's look around. If I catch a familiar scent, I can follow it. Peace conference! Is that what this is all about? Zaji received orders from the crown. I guess we were conscripted. Once I learned that our passenger was Queen Irene, I was dumbfounded that she chose the perfect pawns. Proud, but dumbfounded. This isn't the right way. What have we got here? Someone used this shelter recently. Their scent is fresh. Familiar. This way.
Hey, you!
Let me take a sniff. Ah. The remains of a fire. There are tracks here. This way. Give me a moment. There was a fight here. What's that? On the ground. That medallion has the Queen's scent all over it. There! I have her trail. Follow me. The Queen is in danger.
This jungle is dangerous, Casca. Even your friend shouldn't be wandering about. Fair day and Oriel's blessing to you. I am Irene Arana Aldmeri, Queen of the Aldmeri Dominion. You have my apologies, friend of Casca. I'm a stink worse than a 3-day dead Gua right now. Ah, Lady Arabelle. I knew she wouldn't leave us to rot in this jungle. But she only sent you. Not an army or a chivalry of knights. No matter. I welcome the company. Trouncing these green serpent bastards is amusing, but I'm starting to grow weary. Ah, yes. We were together for a time, but we argued and he rushed off in a huff. I believe I know where to find him after we make some preparations for our rescue. You can signal a ship, but I can help calm the storm that hugs the coast. Never heard about my time with the Sea Elf pirates? They taught me some weather magic. Could you get what I need for the ritual? A claw from a volcanic beast, a feather, and the bones of a drowned sailor. Sadly, these beaches are thick with those. Gather the claw, a feather, and the bones, and I'll make sure the rescue ship can reach the shore safely. While you're gone, I want to take a look at Casca's wounds. She won't admit it, but I can see that she's hurt pretty badly. I am. I founded our alliance right after I accepted my dead father's crown. Anything else you want to know? We are still lost in a hostile jungle, in case you haven't noticed. The old ways are gone. The High Elves, the Khajiit, and the Wood Elves have the strength of will and character to unify Tamriel. I know we may not see eye to eye, but the war has only served to forge my resolve. I believe it with all my heart. When my father died, I took up his throne. It was a difficult transition. But I believe my experience has prepared me, honed me to be the ruler the Dominion needs, the ruler Tamriel needs, if I may be so bold. What have you heard? I adventured for a time, but the tales of my exploits have been greatly exaggerated, except the story about the bear, or the kite, or the trolls. I miss adventuring. That's where I met Casca, in Elsewhere, during my travels. It was a well-planned and dastardly attack. I could sense the magical nature of the summoned storm, and none of my own arcane protections functioned. They blocked them somehow. If the storm hadn't raged out of control, I'd be dead now. Of course. I'm not an archmage, but I know my way around a spell or two. They must have had agents aboard as well, because I sensed a pulse of magicka before the storm hit. Whatever it was, the bastards rendered every enchanted item we had useless. Absolutely. Tamriel is changing and her leaders must adapt. The situation in Cyrodiil right now, I can't see a way forward. Perhaps these talks represent a solution. I'm always in favor of people sitting down to have an earnest conversation. Perhaps. I also understand that Amanos has protections in place to discourage scrying and portal spells. Between the two, it's no wonder the Magus Guild couldn't trace our medallions. Casca, you've been injured. Let me tend to your wounds. Casper will be all right. And you have the items? Well done. While portals to and from Amanos are prohibited, I can teleport within the confines of the island. It just takes more effort. Interesting. Thank you for procuring these items. With them, I can clear the storm when we're ready to depart. Oh, very well, if you insist. You may not believe this, but Emmerich and I do not always see eye to eye. He's as stubborn as his throne is uncomfortable. Why the Bretons insist their king must suffer every time he sits down, I'll never understand. Here, I'll mark your map. It was just north of here. I wonder how excited you'll be when the eagle and the lion are back together again. We tend to argue. A lot. I'll catch up after I prepare the items you brought me for the ritual. Have no fear, I'll be along shortly. I just need to... Never mind, it's complicated. Magica. Don't worry, I've got this. Go find Emmerich. I'll be fine, I just need a moment. Sea elf magics are always so particular. This little beauty will help us immensely, you'll see.
The charges include larceny, goat smuggling, fraud, and excessive use of profanity.
This is the spot, but no Emmerich. That man is infuriating. This complicates the situation. Let's talk. Emmerich isn't here, but he left behind a number of green serpents. For a man of his advanced years, he can still swing a powerful sword. Emmerich is nothing if not reliable. Look at the way the dead serpents are laid out. Isn't it obvious? He left a trail to follow. It leads directly into the cave just up the path. Go ahead and look for him. I'll be along shortly. The poultices should have done their job by now, so I want to go back and retrieve Casca. We will want her strength at our side before this is over, and she needs to be nearby when you signal for the rescue ship. Don't worry about me. If I could survive the politics of Somerset, I can handle an inhospitable island. I'll retrieve Casca and we'll meet up with you in a bit.
This place stinks. magic than I did before.
More of you vile serpents to fight. Good. I'm just getting started. You don't appear to be one of these green serpent ruffians. Shame. I was hoping to notch an even 20. Since you're the first person I've encountered in this damn jungle who isn't trying to kill me, let's assume we're going to be friends. I'm High King Emmerich. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. Lady Arabelle, you say? How is the dear woman? She and I have shared quite a few close calls over the years. But she only sent you? I assumed I merited at least a dozen knights or so. Ah, well, I assume you have a way to get us off this damn island. Ah, you've seen Irene. And she's still alive? Good. Do you know, I was looking for young Ernskar when these serpents rushed out and tried to toss me in that cage. I showed them. But I think they may have captured our wayward Nord prince. I half expected to find our young Nord prince sitting atop a pile of dead serpents, but no such luck. Let's take a look around and see if we can find anything that points to where the serpents might be holding Uren's pup. Come to think of it, I also heard these serpents mention a captured noble. I suppose that's what whoever's behind this told them. No reason to reveal we're royals. Instantly raises the bounty. I really wish I'd taken one of them prisoner, though. What does a High King do? Everything and nothing, or so it seems some days. I lead the Daggerfall Covenant, I rule over High Rock, and I attend meetings. So many meetings. Any other questions before more of these serpents show up? Over my strenuous objections, honestly. I was Earl of Cumberland. Before King Gardner died, he dropped dead of the Nahartan flu, and suddenly I was crowned King of Wayrest. Haven't had a decent night's sleep since. That's a good question. Yoren the Scald King was invited, of course, but the official response we got out of Mournhold was short and sweet. His son would negotiate on the Pact's behalf. Not for me. I have heard that Ernskar is something of a royal pain in the arse. But aren't we all, to some extent? Perhaps Yoren is using this as a training exercise. If Ernskar doesn't make matters worse, maybe he'll learn something. Look around. Ernskar was here before they moved him. I'm sure of it. The Scald King's axe. Ernskar held that like Queen Maria grips a sweet roll. He wouldn't give it up willingly. fights like a giant. That sounds like Ernskar. And he's at the coin fort. Well done. Let's find Queen Irene, shall we? All that dead lout had was this bottle of wine. Ugh! Sour. Is there no joy on this damned island? Yeah, if I were to break an ankle making this jump, Queen Maria would kill me. I'll go around and meet you outside.
Good to see you still well, Emmerich.
And you, Irene. Nice, cat. I say, friend, let's chat. I washed up alone, and now I'm surrounded by allies. At least, allies for the nonce. It's funny how fate can change in a moment, eh? Let's talk about the things we found in the cave. Right. Mentions taking their captive noble to the coin fort. That has to be Prince Ernskar. Amanos used to be a stronghold for High Rock slave traders, but that was many years ago. There's a crumbling old ruin just west of here. A long time ago, yes. Not something the Covenant sanctions today. But you're missing the pertinent point. The Green Serpent gang is using the old coin fort as a hideout, and they're holding Prince Ernskar there. We did indeed. There are songs sung about that weapon. Literally. Yoren performed one of them the last time we shared company. We must return it to the prince when we find him. Anyway, our course seems clear. We make for the coin fort to the west. Don't worry about me. I'll meet you at the coin fort. It's just west of here, if I remember my maps. I'll just spend the walk thinking about the choices I've made. A little retrospective. To the coin fort. Shall we journey there together, Irene?
Casca will run ahead and clear the path. I'll make my own way there. I'll see you at the fort. Do try to keep pace with Casca, Emmerich. She'll keep you safe.
And she's gone. Again. Don't worry about me. I'll just take the long way around. I could use a nice walk. Truth be told, this is one of the most relaxing diplomatic missions I've had in quite some time.
Walker, we need to talk. Bright moons shine upon us, Walker. Before you arrived, I did some sniffing. A scent like the one that lingers on that axe you found. It's inside the Coin Lord's old fort. I'd bet Zaji's left ear that it's Prince Ernskar. Queen Irene suggests subterfuge. They seek the nobles. Let's give them one. In a word, yes. Pretend Emmerich is your prisoner. Escort him to the front gate and wait for them to let you in. Meanwhile, the Queen and I will await your signal. After we free Ernskar, we'll find a place to signal the rescue ship.
The High King most definitely, agrees. Lead on, my foul captor.
Come, Casca. Let's see how much trouble we can get into.
If you insist.
Lead the way, captor, my captor. Ha ha ha. Those green serpents will never see through our clever ruse.
They captured one of the nobles. You, bring that prisoner inside at once. Sentry, unlock the gate!
I'll draw the serpents out. Be ready.
Hands off, you bastard!
That's one of the nobles Dishji wants.
High King
Unlock
Emmerich
the gate!
is
Grab
no
him!
one's prisoner!
Steady, my friend.
Attack!
Casca and I will cause a distraction. Go find Prince Ernskar.
The Ascendant Order won't make good on their promise if he's dead, Netch Breath.
Can I assume this is a rescue?
I miss the pirates.
The King's arrow. Is that really you, my friend? Where you fly, victory is sure to follow. But what are you doing here? How did you find me? So all 3 Alliance delegates still live. Good. As soon as I came ashore, I was set upon by the Serpents. I made the bastards pay. But even the son of Yoren, the Skull King, can't fight an entire prison gang on his own. There were too many of them. Sungir, axe of the Skull King. Ah, it feels good to cradle you in my arms again, you powerful blade. But we can't go yet. The Serpent said that something called the Ascendant Order is behind us. Their leaders, the Lord and Magus, are here. And we will, after we deal with the Ascendant Order leaders. Emmerich would agree, and so would Irene. Come, friend. We can deal with these traitors in one fell swoop. With Sungir once more in hand, I feel better already. Let's find this Ascendant Lord and his Magus. I want to show them what it means to attack a Nord warrior. Someone was going to ask that eventually. Publicly, Yoren wants me to step up. The Pact is a sprawling alliance facing threats from all sides. The Skull King has many responsibilities. This is his way to finally allow me to share his burdens. Privately, the old goat is someone warming his bed at night and refuses to stray too far from home. She's a lovely Riften lass. Brunhilde. My father's never been happier. He was only too eager to let me travel in his stead and represent the Pact. Hope is for poets, like my father. I am a warrior. One does not shy from battle at the first sign of danger. Even if nothing is gained from these conversations, Emmerich, Irene, and I shall be the ones who decide when to quit the field. Curious about the Prince of Windhelm, are you? What do you want to know? I have nothing to hide. You don't know the story? How our 3 disparate peoples came together to repel the Akaviri invaders? I haven't always thought so, but I believe the Nords, the Dark Elves, and the Argonians are truly stronger together. I've seen it firsthand. A personal question. My relationship with the Skull King is complex. He loves the chance to teach lessons, to pass on his tales. But he is still disappointed that I can't sing, forever denying him that father-son duet he's always dreamed of. My role? I've been a prince my entire life. My youth was not unlike yours, I imagine. I hunted, I fought, and I learned my lessons. I bathed in the frigid waterfalls that crash from the high peaks, and wrestled with wolves for sport. The usual. Someone was going to ask that eventually. Publicly. It feels good to be armed again. I've missed you, Sungir.
I'll get Irene and Kaska. We'll wait for your signal.
Someone tried to steal my rations yesterday. I'll slit his throat.
There. Let's listen in.
We will have your missing nobles by day's end, my lord.
See that you do. Magus, summon the Order. We meet on High Isle on the morrow.
Enough! Let's get down there!
My liege, we must go.
I won't allow you to escape.
Go on. Find a way outside so you can signal the ship. I need a moment. Guess I'm not as recovered as I thought. I can see the ocean. That's a good place to use your signal. Shore's bones! Let's see that light all the way back in Wilhelm. Let's get to the dock.
Hold them at bay. Sea elf rituals are fickle things, but I shall quiet the storm.
Green serpents, attack!
Don't let them interrupt the Queen.
No ship can reach us through this storm.
Patience, lad. Irene is working on that.
Wind, waves, and salt. Heed my call and still your fury.
It's working!
I don't believe it. She actually did it.
Onto the ship, quickly.
got them all! Even Casca! Friend, give the word and Zaji will have you back at Mandrake Manor before you know it!
The Ascended Magus and his lord are cowards. Neither would stand and fight. They call themselves knights? Hardly. At least we heard their plans. A meeting on High Isle, we heard the Ascended Lord say. Of course. But you must tell her what I'd learned while I was a captive. The Ascended Order is behind all this, and they are led by the Ascended Lord and his Magus. Truly? Well, you did not know that they were planning a big meeting on High Isle until we heard the Ascended Lord say it, so that's something. And did you know the Lord planned to kill us as soon as the Green Serpents delivered us to him? As sure as we made it onto this ship alive, they want to make a show of it. You could hear it in their voices. This Magus, this Lord, they hunger for power. And the death of 3 Alliance leaders would be quite a start to their feast. Let's move. I want to get off this wretched island. You mean aside from being half-drowned and captured by a prison gang? I fought in many battles, worked at my father's side, and I have started knitting. One of the Grands at the castle has been teaching me. Says it's good for my temperament.
A daring rescue, a clean escape. Well done, my friend. I can't wait to tell Queen Maria all about it. I kept busy, if that's what you're asking. We made our way around the fort and kept the bulk of the Serpent's forces occupied. Casca was a real champion. She cut down 3 ruffians for every one that Irene or I dealt with. For all their rhetoric, it's clear that the Ascendant Order doesn't want the war in Cyrodiil to end, at least not with one of us on the throne. They're the worst kind of evil, a malicious greed masquerading as a benevolent purpose.
As depressing as it sounds, that's the most fun I've had in months. To be honest, I wasn't sure the ritual would work. If it hadn't, let's assume Zaji could have navigated through the storm and reached us anyway. Yeah, let's go with that. It was a well-planned and dastardly attack. I could sense the magical nature of the summoned storm, and none of my own arcane protections functioned. They blocked them somehow. If the storm hadn't raged out of control, I'd be dead now. Of course. I'm not an archmage, but I know my way around a spell or two. They must have had agents aboard as well, because I sensed a pulse of magicka before the storm hit. Whatever it was, the bastards rendered every enchanted item we had useless. As depressing as it sounds, that's the most fun I've had. Between Emmerich and I, the green serpents scattered like leaves in a strong breeze. And thanks to Casca's formidable presence, the rest were quick to abandon their posts. I made sure to hold off on the ritual until I saw the signal flare. Absolutely. They raised a storm and sank 3 ships to try to kill us. As long as their leaders live, there's no reason to expect them to just surrender. At least Emmerich, Ernskar, and I still draw breath. Thanks to you.
nice to be back in the city. Lady Arabelle wants you back at Mandrake Manor, friend. I'll see you there.
Walker, Lady Arabelle wants to see you in the courtyard, out back.
Well, here comes our hero now. Well done, my dear.
Excellent. Who wants a drink? The Prince of Windhelm is by.
Hold fast there, lad. We're safe for now, but the battle's just begun.
Good work finding the Alliance leaders and getting them off Amanos safely. I'm quite proud of you, my dear. Lord Bacaro and I will spirit them to a more secure location shortly. Then we can turn our attention back to the Ascendant Order. So Prince Ernskar told me. We'll get to that. First, you need to rest, and I need to make sure our royal guests remain safe. For now, take this. As long as I can count on you, there's more where that came from. Thanks to you, the royals have finally reached High Isle. While the Ascendant Order has lost their prizes, they remain a threat. Once the Ascendant Lord and his Magus learn the Alliance leaders are here, they will stop at nothing to reach them. Lord Bacaro and I have a secure place. They'll be safe enough there. So far, we've been on the defensive, reacting to events. The time has come to take the fight to the Ascendant Order, and my plan starts with this meeting you heard about on Amanos. And I think I know how to determine where this assemblage will take place. While you were away, I received reports of Ascendant Order activity at Mistmouth Cave. I propose we investigate, and if luck is with us, catch ourselves a Lord and a Magus. Mistmouth Cave lies on the northern coast of High Isle. It's a favorite of outlaws and pirates. I'll meet you there. I need to go over some details with Jakan one more time. Things tend to go in one ear and out the other with that one, you know. Not as safe as they could be. Lord Bacaro, Valesi, and I arranged for the Mages Guild to protect the conference site on All Flags Islet with powerful defensive spells. I'll rest easier with the delegates safely behind those wards. That's our hope. Now that the Alliance leaders are here and safe, they just need a little time to recover from their ordeal. And we need to make sure the Ascendant Order no longer poses a threat. Worried about me? Oh, pish-posh. I was dealing with brigands, trolls, and threats to the realm since well before Rancer launched his ill-fated little war. There's nothing in this archipelago that I can't handle. But thanks for your concern, dear. I know the feeling. I couldn't keep it all straight without my notebooks. The Ascendant Order wants to kill the leaders of the three alliances. They sent a storm to sink the ships carrying them here for the peace conference. That's correct, dear. And while you were rescuing Prince Ernskar, you overheard the Ascendant Lord tell the Magus to summon the Order to a meeting on High Isle. We're going to follow up on that and figure out where this meeting will take place.
Why must we sit on our hands? The Dominion can crush the Ascendant Order with one fell blow.
I will not allow the Dominion to land warriors on Breton shores. The Daggerfall Covenant will handle this matter.
Summon your fleets and I will leave. The Ebonheart Pact will not negotiate under threat of attack.
Patience, please. This is a delicate situation. Let us handle this. Now go with Jakan. He'll see you to a safer location.
There. I recharged the medallions. They can be returned to the delegates.
What a strange magic.